Welcome to Franchise Spotlight, where we showcase unique franchise opportunities that give you the chance to build wealth, create a legacy, and take greater control of your future. Today, we're exploring Shrunk3D, a franchise that turns people, pets, and memories into lifelike 3D keepsakes that customers can hold in their hands. Let's put the spotlight on Shrunk3D. Adam from Franchise Fastlane, representing the Shrunk3D brand. You know, every franchise starts with a core idea. So what is Shrunk3D all about? You know, who are the customers that want to buy from Shrunk3D?
Sure. Yeah, and thanks for having me, Scott. Shrunk 3D is on the forefront of 3D scanning. We are an event-based franchise. We are showing up to these events, whether they're paying us to go or we're paying to go to the event, and we are capturing special moments in a way a photograph never really could. I guess is a good way to put it. And I call our franchisees photographers more than anything else. They're going out there taking these scans, they're capturing these special moments, and that's their job. After they're done with the scan and the event, they send the scans off. Their job's done. Everything else is handled by the home office. So we want them to be there, living that great experience and having a great time running this amazing franchise that's really never been seen before at this scale in the 3D scanning industry.
I think that's fantastic. So just so I'm really clear, people come to your mobile concept at an event or whatever, they get a scan, and what do they actually get? What's the product that they're buying?
Yep, they're buying a statue from 3 to 9 inches. Here's one of mine right here. Uh,
Okay.
and we have a less than a 1% return rate. So that really says a lot about how high quality these statues are. I got about 6 little atoms around my apartment. Always a big topic of discussion when people come over. I got one of me hanging off the bar, bottles like this. Um,
That's
but
fantastic.
yeah, we are not only that, you can do group shots, if you want to do up to 3 people in the scan. We have 95 cameras, 8 projectors are taking an instant photo of you from 95 different angles and they're going
Wow.
up on the screen. That's what we're using to design everything back home at the home office in the printer. But we're expanding on our products. We're offering more options, but still the statues are our biggest product line. And of course, if you want to scan your pet, you can actually do that as well. We love scanning the pet as long as it can sit still for half a second. That's all we need.
Very good. I love it. When I think about who succeeds in this, right? I mean, different franchises offer different things to different people, and usually they attract a certain kind of owner. So, who tends to thrive with Shrunk 3D? Like, what qualities set them apart for success?
Absolutely, yeah. And I've been a part of now 4 different brands, within franchise Fastlane. I feel like, yeah, each founder, I try to figure out, of course, learn the brand, but also learn what the founder is going to be looking for, because this is going to be has to be a mutual fit for both parties involved. And I tell our candidates that from call number one. As much as the franchisor is to sell you, I mean, you got to sell them as well. Um, and what I'm looking for, obviously, this is a tech savvy franchise opportunity, but most of the technology and all the technical stuff that's above my pay grade, um, that's all handled by the home office. We want people that are going to get out there, extroverts, have that people skill, are well connected in their community. There is a lot of marketing support, but it's also important to get out there and show these statues firsthand what they actually look like and how they feel, and what the design work really does stand out in a whole different way than anything else anyone's ever seen before. So, as much of a tech savvy franchise as it is, as long as you are outgoing and have a drive to build a business and build a business off a proven business model, you're going to be successful because the
Mhm.
support is there. But yeah, I'm looking for anybody. It could be a brand new person in the franchising world, or it could be maybe somebody who's a seasoned one wants to add something to their portfolio. I have a wide range of franchisees. We have 53 right now currently.
Mhm.
I have a franchisee under each ownership model, whether it's owner operator, semi-absentee, or executive model. We got them all.
I'm glad you brought up the different ownership models, right? What does a typical day involve if you're, say, an owner operator versus your semi-absentee? Like, tell me a little bit about, what a person would be expected to do when they own this business.
Sure. We are still right now about 88% almost of our franchisees are semi-absentee. Um, so as we continue to grow, we're adding more and more full-time franchisees. So we don't. Most of those franchisees are relatively new in our system. It's really the same model for both. No matter if you're semi-absentee or owner-operator, it's all about booking those events, whether it's during the week or on the weekends. Obviously, semi-absentee individuals, if they don't have somebody supporting them during the week, they're going to have to run more events on the evenings during the week or weekends. Uh,
Mhm.
with owner operators, as long as you are booking those events throughout the week, do whatever you like. You're not working a job. This is going to be your full time gig. We can provide you with enough lead flow because there's a lead flow that comes in. There's national contract opportunities out there that you can attack. It's going to be up to you. But the biggest thing is staying on top of your marketing campaigns and staying on top of your lead flow and booking events. That's really all it is. And it's great for us and it's great for me that actually one of my franchisees is my CEO of my company at Franchise Fastlane. So it's
Oh,
always
okay.
yeah, it's always nice at a conference when I can have my CEO up there with me as a validator of the brand. They've seen it's Carrie Gilly. She has seen thousands of brands come through the fast lane.
Wow.
Some of which we've not taken on, some we have taken on, and her and her husband have bought into two franchises, and one of which being Shrunk3D, which is
Mhm.
great. But executive model that they have a full time GM running their weekly and day to day operations. But
Mhm.
it's just
Okay.
getting out there and marketing. That's the biggest thing because no one really knows who we are. They know who we are. We're growing, but still, you wake up in the morning, you're not going to think I'm going to go get a 3D statue today.
Mhm.
It's not that type of business model. You got to get out there and attack it. And once the first few dominoes fall, they continue to fall much faster after that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And that is a fantastic testimony to the power of the business model, right? When someone who knows franchising like Carrie does, right, that goes into into that particular business. That's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the resilience of the business model. Every business is going to face ups and downs. How resilient is the model? Let's say if we're in tougher economic times, right? What are you observing? What are you seeing as far as the resilience of this particular business model?
It's in an industry that we have the ability, even if the economy is down, where we can still find success for our franchisees. We have a national contract with the military. We have a national contract with the CLC, College Licensing Company, which ties into NIL deals with college athletes and coaches. That's not going anywhere,
Mhm.
and we have those rights. If the market is down, that would be a big avenue to go down, attack our national accounts.
Mhm.
But also, we are coming out with new product lines too. Maybe if the economy is down, people don't want to spend as much money. We now have other products out there, such as like a 3D baseball card, which can be bought for about $30. One of these baseball cards here. It's actually a real scan. This just came out about 2 months ago. Yep, and we do the scan on the front. It gets really precise. This is a Michigan football player, like with the background of the big house and the banner. In the back, it's a QR code. Scan that QR code, and it can bring them to their webpage or show their highlights. Uh, so with we think youth sports it's been huge so far, like Little League, any sort of youth sports, but Little League was really big for us this past summer on these. And we have bust now, like just a football Hall of Fame bust. Those will go for about the same price. So we do have more affordable options out there that can suit all sorts of backgrounds in life when it comes to whatever the economic system or world is doing, whether it's up or down. Some people think sometimes Shrunk3D we're expensive. Yes, we do have our bigger statues, which can be a couple $100, but we have
Mhm.
products that are also under $50, and most
Mhm.
people can always still afford that.
Yeah, yeah. And capturing key memories and key moments in life, like I said, youth sports, family events, going to the fair or whatever,
Yep.
right? So, yeah,
Weddings are
there's.
big for us as well. People
Oh,
are always getting
that's
married.
yeah, that's a great point. I hadn't even thought about that one. All right,
Yep.
yeah, the booth at the wedding. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
that's very interesting. So, it being such a tech forward concept, and technology is always changing, right? Like, how do you plan to stay relevant as, AI and digital avatars and things like that emerge? I mean, I think you touched on it with some of the new products, but let's drill into that, because sometimes people may be hesitant when they say, "Wow, that's cutting edge today," but what about tomorrow, right?
Sure. You know, Micah Smith, one of our co-founders and our tech founder who designs all this software, he started developing this back in 2018. This technology with the 3 to 9 inch statues and those capabilities. So again, those statues, as we've already mentioned, stand out alone. I get a lot of people on intro calls who tell me, "Hey, I'm actually in the 3D scan industry and I cannot match your guys' product."
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so
Okay.
they come to me or come to us. We brought on a few of those franchisees, and it's another technology. But
Hmm.
like any technology, people will catch up.
Hmm.
Technology always finds a way.
Hmm.
So yes, we are trying to roll out. We've already rolled out a lot of new products,
Hmm.
as well as 2D to 3D scanning. That was a big question when I came
Hmm.
on board. Can you scan somebody or something that's not in the booth? The answer's always
Hmm.
been no.
Okay.
An answer now is yes. So whether we go to a car show, we set a franchisee at a car show a few weeks ago, and she was scanning some of the drivers. You see, you know what? We can do something else for you now. You send us a few photos, we can scan your car, or it could be your house or a building,
Hmm.
your boat. My dad's in the boat industry. He's going to be
Hmm.
using some of our scans at the next boat show he goes to, and
All
he's
right.
really excited about them. But you mentioned the avatar, the
Hmm.
metaverse. That is our next phase in our new development process that will be coming out later this year or early next year. So what we're
Oh,
trying to
okay.
do is we're not being complacent, and I think
Yeah.
that's great in a franchise. They're trying to continue to pull away from the competition and provide more options to the customer. And we're just getting started now with these new products, but there's definitely more to come. And I think it's a great sign for a successful franchise that's on the rise.
I think that's all good news, right? Continuing the innovation, offering new relevant products, breaking into new adjacent markets, like you said, the metaverse type thing.
Yep.
So that's very exciting stuff. So, Adam, another question that I think people will have on their minds, because it's such a high tech operation. What happens if something goes wrong? I get to an event and next thing I know, a camera goes out or something. Am I shut down? Do I leave the event? Like, what happens?
No, great question. I get that all the time. That question all the time from candidates when we're going through the process together. You're going to be paying, they pay their $250 a month technology fee, and that's going to be day or night tech support. There's going to be somebody there to assist you. If you have an issue, you can always call the tech support line number. So you're going to have that support, as well as we prepare for this. If your cameras go down, if you're down 10 cameras, 10% of your cameras, that's okay. We can still take an accurate scan.
Hmm.
Um, and we've never had a franchisee lose more than 2 cameras. But we are prepared for that.
Okay.
We are mobile. We're on the road. You could hit a pothole. Hopefully you don't get in an accident, but you could get in an accident. We can still get it there.
Mhm.
But there we want to be able to be in a position where our franchisees don't have to live and die in the fact that, hey, if I lose a camera, I can't do the event.
Right.
Nope, you're prepared for that. If you need more cameras, we can always send those to the franchisee after the event is done.
Yeah, no, I think with any technology solution, if you build in redundancy, right, you plan for a measure of failure, and sounds like you've over-engineered it enough that they can be confident in their ability to deliver. I love it. Adam, to help somebody who's considering a Shrunk 3D franchise, and if they're trying to imagine what types of events would I go to, where are franchisees being successful? So they have a territory. What types of events are they trying to book? Where are they trying to go?
Yeah, no, that's another great question. We understand that there's a long list of events that we can do, from small to big. We know that, but we also know that each territory is unique in its own way. What's going to be the best avenue for success? So during their onboarding training, while the booth is being manufactured, they do go through training and they learn about our Warplan AI, marketing campaign technology, and lead flow generator, being able to find the best possible avenue for them in a territory. But in terms of like what the most popular events that I've seen so far, corporate events are big. Usually they pay in advance. They'll ask you to come for 3 hours and maybe scan 300 employees. Uh, and it's always nice when you're paid in advance because you already have the money and it makes you more motivated to want to stay at the event and do more scans. Weddings, huge one for us. We have a few national contracts with wedding event planners or wedding topper companies. So weddings are always really exciting for us. College sports, we have the CLC contract, but we have franchisees showing up to tailgates. and scan the fans because again, that's a special moment. Maybe it's a father, son, or family going to their first game together, as well as festivals. Maybe it could be a Comic-Con. Think about that, or a music
Oh
festival.
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are those are very attractive for our franchisees and for the customer because
Mhm.
they're going to be dressed up in whatever outfit they're wearing, like a Comic-Con event.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
convention centers. I look at
Mhm.
that when we are putting together territories, are there convention centers? Because you think about it, all the events that are held at a convention center, it could be a youth sporting event, it could be a
Mhm.
concert, it could be a corporate event, it could be a boat
Mhm.
show, car show.
Yeah.
Convention centers, getting in with those getting those kind of contracts lined up for our franchisees and working with those event planners at that um, event center is
Mhm.
huge.
All
So
right. Yeah. Well, I think you painted a great picture there, Adam. It just helps people visualize where would they go, where would they be, and what a cool lifestyle type business too. That these are places you probably want to go anyway, and so you get to hang out and be a part of it and create some lasting memories from these events. So how awesome is that?
it's the best, man. So, and that's franchisees tell me that all the time. Like, I'm having fun and I'm making money. So, it's always a good combination when that happens.
So let's talk a little bit about the financial commitment. What does it take for an investor or a potential owner to financially to get started with Shrunk 3D?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I go over that with every one of my candidates. We go through the discovery process. And typically, the biggest cost of this franchise is the booth itself, this high tech booth that you're going to have ownership of, that you own this booth. And we also, provide our technology fee that they pay every month. That's there to help support them in case we have any updates to our technology or if any issues pop up. They have that support, but it's a big investment. It's 125,000. But at the end of the day, the total investment cost after that, with the franchise fee, is right around $200,000, give or take a little bit. But I usually always stay right around that number and see it right around that number for our franchisees that come on board. And we also have an option if sometimes that cost of the booth may be a little daunting to some
Hmm.
of our candidates because again they don't really know what a Shrunk 3D booth can do.
Hmm.
There are payment options. We work with a lender out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They're called Advantage Plus.
Okay.
You can make a smaller payment to Shrunk 3D, then you can pay off your booth month over month for the next couple of years, or whenever you're ready to pay it off. From the
Hmm.
revenue that you're making, you can pay it off.
Okay. So you have cash flow options. Yeah. Are you listed on the SBA registry? Could somebody fund this with an SBA loan?
Absolutely. Yep. We're SBA loan
Okay.
approved, and that's an option that I go over with them on the second call of our discovery process as well. So, yep.
Excellent. No, I think that's fantastic too. So, as we start to wind this conversation up here, Adam, at the end of the day, potential owners want to know why this is worth pursuing. So, exciting technology, great, but why is it not just a viable investment, but why is it an exciting business to own? Like, what are you hearing from your franchisees?
Well, there's a few huge selling points that I hear all the time. There's no inventory you have to worry about. Obviously, no spoilage because we don't have any food like a food truck might have to worry about. And you have really no competition. Again, nobody out there in the franchise or business world is doing 3D mobile scanning. So without having any sort of competition for our franchisees, they're seeing great average gross margins, which is at nearly 50% average gross margin at the bottom line.
Okay.
Because again, they can control their market. They have the
Hmm.
flexibility to price out their products accordingly to their market or to the event that they're going to. Uh,
Hmm.
we understand our products may sell differently in Manhattan, New York versus Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yes, we
Okay.
have a price range we want them to be in, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure they book the business and see the
Mhm.
best possible return on that investment for that event.
Nice.
Mhm.
But I mean, it sounds like you said because of its competitive positioning. I think the only competitors I've ever seen in my research are kind of not even mobile. Like they're stationary. They're like in malls or whatever. Like you're not seeing like this mobile concept is really revolutionary, really breakthrough.
Never been done, and it's still never been done except for Shrunk 3D. So,
No,
yep, you're absolutely
that's
right.
incredible. Yeah,
Mhm.
nice. So looking at the big picture, after somebody watches our little interview here and they remember one thing about Shrunk 3D, Adam, what should they remember? What's the one thing they should take away?
Yeah, we're unique, we're niche, but you're going to be doing something that you have nobody in your market has ever seen before. So I think that is very rare in the business world and definitely in the franchising world. When you're doing something that's never been done, you're going to stand out in a crowd. No matter where you're at, these booths stand out for themselves. But you're going to be the talk of the show and the talk of the town once people get to know you. Because again, you're doing something that we were on the forefront of this industry doing. And you're going to also learn just how gratifying it is to see the look on customers' faces when they're going through the process of being scanned in our booths. So you're going to be part of a brand that has tremendous and brand new technology. And also you're going to know that you're going to have the support and the backing of a franchise support group that really cares about their franchisees, and they want you to be successful. They're not just looking at you as another number on the sheet. These franchisors have all been franchisees before, have all owned a business. They understand they're only as good as their franchisees. So you can take away from it knowing that you have the support and you're going to be unique. And the sky is truly the limit, because there's really no event that we can not go to. It's just going to be up to you what events you want to go to.
Nice. I really appreciate your time today, Adam. This is super exciting. I loved it the first time I heard about it, and I love it to hear you describe it now. So this is good. I'm very excited to see your growth. It looks like you have some really strong growth projections for the coming year, and I expect to see a tremendous boost over the coming year or two. Well, Adam, again, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate your insights, your input, and we certainly hope that some of our viewers are ready and willing to explore Shrunk3D for their local territories.
Hey, thank you, Scott. I really enjoyed it here today, and I look forward to hopefully getting some calls about Shrunk3D. We're looking forward to expand and bring on more franchisees. Thank you again.